Good evening. Network Rail has been told to improve tracks and signalling in the West Midlands or face a big fine. 70% of all delays on the West Coast Main Line have been caused by Network Rail. Just over a third of those delays are due to infrastructure faults. But Network Rail's in the middle of a £40 million improvement package for the railway line. They've now brought in a new piece of machinery to try to replace track more quickly, as our transport correspondent Peter Plisner has been finding out.
It's 800 metres long, weighs around 2,000 tonnes and has cost £100 million. This is the high-output track-laying train at work on the West Coast Main Line near Stafford earlier this week. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and more than 60 contractors are on site laying new track while most of us lay in bed. On a typical night, this train can lay more than half a kilometre of new track, and timing is crucial.
The key to this is starting off on time, right after the last train last night, doing as much as we can before opening tomorrow morning, and in effect we're invisible to the travelling public.
It's effectively a factory on wheels, taking away old track and sleepers and replacing them with new ones in a process that's highly mechanised. Without this machine, they simply wouldn't be able to do this kind of track replacement work on the West Coast Main Line overnight. There simply wouldn't be enough time. Conventional methods would mean they'd have to close the line for several days. And of course, that would mean massive disruption to passengers and freight traffic. And all that hard work seems to be paying dividends. This time last year, delays because of track faults measured in minutes stood at 2,792. But by the same period this year, delays had come down by almost a half to just over 1,500 minutes. But according to the line's main operator, Virgin Trains, more needs to be done.
It's not quite where we want it to be, in that we still have too much inconsistency in the performance, but we are seeing some green shoots of recovery, and although there's a little way to go, we are starting to get towards the targets that we expect from Network Rail and from ourselves.
Meanwhile, back at Stafford, the track replacement continues. But the big question is, why is it needed on a line that was recently upgraded at a cost of £9 billion?
Well, track typically has a lifespan of anywhere between 20 and 50 years, but what we're seeing now on the West Coast Main Line is we're carrying more passengers, more freight, more trains than ever before. So that means the rail, just like on the road, the rail wears out quicker. The rail now has a lifespan of around 10 years on the busy sections of line. So that means we're back more regularly to make sure the track's fit for purpose and is reliable.
And the good news is, although slow, reliability is improving, and overnight operations like this are certainly helping to reduce both delays and cancellations.
And Peter's here now. Goodness, that looks impressive, Peter. But track faults are only one part, aren't they? One cause, one of the causes that causes delays. What's been done about the others?
Well, there are a variety of issues, Nick. Cable theft, trespass, points and signal failures. Sadly, also suicides are a big cause of delay. But Network Rail is investing £40 million in a package of improvements. Now, that's in addition to the track renewal work that we saw on the film. It seems to be working, and it's pretty impressive.
How bad has performance actually been on the West Coast Main Line?
Well, it has been pretty poor, but it's been up and down over the last 12 months. The figures I've seen, in February it was 72% of trains arriving on time at their destination, so effectively more than a quarter of the trains arriving late. Currently it's said to be around 88.4%. Much of that is down to that improvement programme that we've been hearing about. There's a bigger focus on the causes of delays, a better focus on the state of the infrastructure. Virgin has had a manager seconded to Network Rail to work on improvements, so things are happening.
So how likely is it that Network Rail will still face a fine?
Well, I think it'll all depend on the performance over the next few months. The Office of Rail Regulation has set a target of 92% on average on the whole of the rail network. Currently, it's around 90.7%. It's a tough ask, but Network Rail think they can do it.
OK, Peter, thank you. Now,